It works better when you unmute yourself. Ha! Boomer to the rescue. Good morning, guys. So I'm not going to live stream this one. Satellite is currently not available today. So I can... Ding! Oh, look at that. So mean. But yeah, Satellite's not currently available today. So basically what I'm going to do is just go through the news and just upload it to Nonpartisan Media. You're still advertising the Nonpartisan Media Live. If you're not familiar with that channel, please do go and subscribe. Link in the description below. Of course, let's just jump straight into it. So, Good Samaritan pays hotel tab for dozens of homeless in Chicago amid dangerous cold snap. That's a good deed. Let's start the news off with a positive, I suppose. The anonymous donor paid for hotel rooms for several dozen homeless people who had been camped out in tents in Chicago as temperatures dipped to dangerously cold levels Wednesday. The Good Samaritan picked up the hotel bill for about 70 people after donator propane tanks and kept them warm in sub-zero temperatures were confiscated, the Chicago Tribune first reported. The homeless had set up tents in makeshift camps near the expressway in Chicago, where temperatures plummeted to 22 degrees below zero. Oof, that's cold. They were using propane tanks that were donated to them until one exploded Wednesday afternoon, promoting a response from the Salvation Army. A spokesman for the organization, Jacqueline Roach, told CBS News. The blast didn't injure anyone, but it caused a small fire, which would have kept them nice and warm anyway, which led the Chicago Fire Department to take away the propane tanks, leaving the homeless encampment without a source of heat. The fire department warned of the dangers of propane tanks on Twitter. During extreme cold weather, we understand that people want to help the homeless population. However, we ask under no circumstances should you donate propane tanks, which are potentially fire hazards. Propane tanks can cause potential fires and explosions. According to Rashiv, I'm going to probably name that wrong, she was notified of the setup of the group at the Salvation Army's Warning Center, but she got word about anonymous donor act of kindness. All the folks there, some wonderful citizens, is going to put all of them in a hotel for the rest of the week, she told the Tribune. She didn't know what exact location of the hotel, but she said it was somewhere on Chicago's south side. The donors' generosity made sure dozens of people in need had a warm place to sleep when their conditions outside were life-threatening. At least the nine depths are now connected to the polar vortex. What? That suspends dangerously cold air and causing major disruptions across the Midwest and Northeast. Nearly 90 million people are in the path of the extreme cold weather system. So look, obviously, guys, at the end of the day, it's good news. Obviously, it's great that someone has gone through and done this. But yeah, I kind of think it's actually kind of cool. So yeah, good on him for doing it, I suppose. Yeah, feel good story to start off the day. Yay! Let's jump into the next one. Largest fentanyl drug bust in history made as truck tried crossing the southern border. It's funny, I thought we didn't have a border problem down in... Or you guys didn't have a border problem in America. But anyway, let's keep going. That's what the libs keep telling me, right? The US Customs and Border Patrol seized enough fentanyl to kill over 50 million people from a truck that was trying to cross the southern border into the United States, according to an investigation by Carlson Tucker tonight. So they seized 114.3 kilograms of fentanyl, 1 kilo of fentanyl pills, and 179.4 kilos of methamphetamine. Holy shit, that's a lot of drugs. Well, the US Border Patrol has made their biggest fentanyl bust in history, as enormous amount of enough fentanyl to kill, they estimate, 57 million people. That's more than the combined population of the states of Iowa, New York, and Pennsylvania. That's a lot, Carlson started. No shit. But anyway, we got our hands on the internal memo from the US Customs and Border Patrol that details this bust. The biggest fentanyl seizure in the US history, Fox News correspondent Hillary Vaughn began. According to the memo, 4 days ago in Nogales, Arizona, I'm probably mispronouncing that, I apologize. At the point of entry, CBP officers stopped a tractor trailer crossing the US-Mexico border into the US with enough fentanyl to kill 50 million people. That's plenty of fatal doses to wipe out the entire population of Texas, Arizona, and New York. The bus comes as President Donald Trump is trying to secure the funding for the wall and more likely to build on the southern border to prevent smuggling and illegal immigration. Many Democrats have encountered the president's desire by saying the wall would be immoral, which is funny because I thought drugs would have been more immoral. But regardless. Also on the wall, Senator signs a bill. No, not yet. That one. Boom up to the rescue. Pelosi on the border wall negotiations. There's not going to be any wall money in the legislation. So Trump's just going to do an emergency act. So that's what she's basically saying. Thursday at her weekly press briefing, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi declared that there was not going to be any war money in the legislation that comes out of the ongoing bipartisan negotiations on funding for the border security. When asked if the compromise will include a border wall money, Pelosi said, "We are not going to have negotiations over this right now. They are having negotiations over there. This is not going to be any wall money in the legislation." Which is not going to be happy for Trump because Trump is he's just going to have to go through and do an emergency, isn't he? He has to build the wall. Like, you've literally just had one of the biggest drug busts in history, and Nancy Pelosi's still not budging on the wall. So, yeah. She added, however, if they have some suggestions about certain localities, technology, some infrastructure about the ports, or maybe we need to be more ports of entry, that's part of the negotiation. This is not a negotiation for the president's sake. What he did say today, he said it didn't matter what Congress does. I knew he wanted all to himself. I mean, really, a president who wants Congress is completely irrelevant in how we meet the needs of the American people? No, come on. What the hell is she going on about? Is this girl on crack cocaine or something? Lindsey Graham, we're going to build the wall one way or the other, and I fully support this. Republican South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham predicted that Trump administration will build the wall one way or the other, and also added a stern political warning for the Republicans who refuse to support the president on the issue. The senator's comments came during the Wednesday night interview with Sean Hannity when the Fox News host brought up the topic of border security and President Donald Trump's fight for the wall. He told Graham he was 99% certain the president would use alternative means to complete the absent Congress funding. Quote, to everybody who's wondering how this movie ends, it ends this way, said Graham. We're going to build the wall one way or another. Relating that he had just talked to the president 10 minutes before he came on Hannity's show, Graham divulged into why the $5.7 billion that's been asked for is a part of a professionally designed plan. South Carolina Senator agreed with Hannity's concerns about his Republican colleagues. I'm worried too, he said. If you don't stand by the president, even President Bush, Obama, and Trump sent troops to the border. What is unusual about that? Nothing. What is the difference between sending troops to secure the border and building a barrier while they're there? He has the power in the world to do this. Too many Republican colleagues stand behind him. If you don't, you're going to pay a price. Yeah, you probably won't get re-elected, to be honest. Look, at the end of the day, what's my view on this wall? Whatnot? I fully support it. We literally, like I just said, had one of the biggest fentanyl busts in the world, or the US has had one of the biggest fentanyl busts in the world. With enough fentanyl to kill 50 million people. To me, that sort of says how bad we need this wall. Now, this is stuff that tried to cross legally through the checkpoints and stuff like that. Great, terrific. But how much of it isn't going through those checkpoints? How much of it is going through unmonitored areas, and how much of that drugs is making its way into Texas or California or whatever it may be? Like, if they're bringing this much through the border, the security, yeah, what about the unsecure areas? You would have to think there'd be more, but regardless. Senator Governor Christie Gnomes, I think that's Senator, signed bill to end concealed carry permit requirements. So we did talk about this yesterday, and obviously this is an update for it today. We suspected yesterday that she would sign it. So Governor Christie signed Senate Bill 47 on Thursday to eliminate South Dakota's requirements that residents possess a concealed carry permit in order to carry a handgun concealed. The Associated Press reports that the law eliminating the permit takes effect on the 1st of July 2019. The NRA, ILA, which I believe is the, I would say, the certain branch of the NRA, I presume. Executive Director Chris Cox commented on the elimination of South Dakota's permit requirement, saying this law is a common sense measure that allows law-abiding South Dakotans to exercise their fundamental right of self-protection in the manner that best suits their needs. Gnomes action means South Dakota joins Alaska, Arizona, Kansas, Ohio, Arkansas, I believe, I might be mispronouncing that, Maine, Mississippi, Missouri, New Hampshire, North Dakota, West Virginia, Wyoming, and Vermont, making a total of 14 states that allow concealed carries without a permit. The total number of permitless carry states could rise to at least 17, as Texas, Oklahoma, and Iowa are witnessing the efforts to repeal the carry permit required in the states during the current legislative seasons. Look, at the end of the day, I can sort of see both sides to the concealed carry. Look, at the end of the day, if you have a gun license, then I don't know. Do you need a concealed carry as well? Probably not. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on the concealed carry being removed? Do you support it or not? But let's keep going. Close. Alright. Yeah. Hillsdale College President Larry Aaron. Elite universities are the ultimate sources of political correctness. Is he wrong? Let's kind of say he's right, actually, to be honest. The universities, the colleges and stuff like that, they are breeding grounds for social justice warriors. They literally are. Hillsdale College President Larry Arnn told Breitbart News Editor-in-Chief Alex Morrow during a Sirius XM Breitbart News daily interview Wednesday that elite universities are the ultimate sources of political correctness dogma. I wouldn't say it's elite, I'd just say it's all universities, to be honest, but anyway. Arnn began by explaining his school's pedagogic approach. Pedagogic approach. I might be mispronouncing that. When you're 17-year-old, you're deciding on where to go to college. You're probably too young to make up your mind whether you're a liberal or conservative. You need to learn some things. Kids sometimes say to me, I want to get into your college. I'm a conservative. I always say, what's that? And then they stumble, you know. So, close that. Arnn added, the first part of the education is learning what fundamental things mean. That's what the great books are about. That's what natural science is about. And also make them strong by letting them do their work to learn. And then they can figure out what they are. Shared in an exchange with Rush Limbaugh yesterday regarding of politics of Hillsdale College students and alumni. But Rush Limbaugh said to me one time, how do you make them conservative? Recalled Arnn. And I said, I don't, he said. You don't? I said, no, you can't do that. If they're worth much, you can make them into anything. But he said, say it again. If they're worth much, you can't make them into anything. Okay, yeah, I'll get that. But he said, they are conservative. And I said, yeah, a great majority. He said, why? And I said, well, if you find value in an old book, you uncut the principles of modern liberalism already. Added, just remember the way they make them liberal is they spoil them to death. They tell them that your opinion is the sovereignty thing of the university and you can be anything you want to be, an Advart or a Giselle, so they don't let them learn much. Political agitation campaigns across college and university campuses reveal post-secondary institutions' failures in cultivating critical thinking and epistemologic rigor in students, said Arnn. So, you just look at these scenes on TV. I'm horrified by them. The students get to march and rant Iran, and they demand the firing of senior officials. And they get it, and they demand changes in the curriculum. And what they all have in common, if they're all students, they've never completed a curriculum. Continued. How would they know they're supposed to learn? It's the liberating, it's the students that teach them knowledge and command of their intellect and passions. That's what they're doing to them. See, this is the description of the reality of knowing that the reality of things is them, of the education. I don't understand what he is trying to talk about here. What I think is trying to say, if I'm trying to break this all down, is that if kids go to university, they generally lean sort of conservative, majority of them, but once they get into the universities, they get spoiled, they get rotten, they get told they can be anything they want to be, they can go and protest these marches if they want to when they're supposed to be at colleges, and it sort of drags them to the left. I think that's what he is actually trying to say. My argument to this, and it's quite a long article so I'm not going to read the whole thing, would be that it's not just the elites, it would be all the universities. I don't know any university that is over in America, and obviously I haven't looked into every one of them, but I don't know many universities over there, especially the elite ones, I suppose, that are conservative. Most of them seem to lean far left or left. So, yeah. Really, this one. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez claims her comments on Israel were doctored. They were not. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Democrat New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez claimed on Monday that comments she made in July regarding the Israel occupation of Palestine were doctored and circulated in the media. The firing line interview, got doctored and then doctored the video was the one ended up on Fox News, and then, like everyone, just sees the doctored version instead of the actual exchange. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whatever her name is, told The Intercept, referring to a July 18th interview with Margaret Hoover. But let's have a look at it here, because I believe this is the...
On Monday, giving that wonderful, having that discussion.
Okay. Alexandria Cortez faced backlash after the IBS interview aired for not being able to defend the position she promulgates regarding Israel-Palestinian conflict. Okay, so just in the first 5 minutes of this here, you can see that they're on her side.
Dr. King,
like the host is happy to see her, she's crawling up her butt, stuff like that.
Out the entire country.
So for them to go through and doctor the video, I would find that highly unlikely, but anyway. Also, what people think we're starting to see was the latest in the occupation of Palestine is just an increasing crisis of human condition, Cortez said in July. And this to me is just where I tend to come from on this issue. I also think that what people are starting to see, at least in the occupation of Palestine, is just an increased crisis of humanitarian... Okay, whatever. However, followed-up question of whether she self-proclaimed socialist meant by occupation of Palestine. I know what it meant is, like, the statements are increasing in some of these areas and places where difficult to access to the housing and homes. Ocasio's answered before conceding that she is not the expert on geopolitics on the issue. Days after the interview aired, conservative commentator Ali Beth Stuckley created a mock interview where she juxtaposed herself as questioning against Alexandria Cortez answers from the firing line interview. Stuckley defended the satirical interview, but Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whatever her name is, alleged that the Republicans were faking videos of her comments because they were afraid of her and can't deal with the reality. Oh my God, really? You mean to tell me that the Republicans memed you? Holy shit. Yeah, whatever. Alexandria Cortez specifically claimed her comments about Israel were doctored, as first reported by the Daily Wire. However, the Stuckley's parody interview does not mention either Israel nor Palestine. The comments only appear in the original firing line interview. Look, at the end of the day, what's my view on this? Look, obviously, yeah, she's going to be pro-Palestine. I don't think this girl is going to be very supportive of Israel. And there is very much a war in fractions, we'll say that, between some people on the Israel side and some people on the Palestine side. Me, personally, I'm on the Australian side. But, yeah, I don't think that either of them is better than the other. I think they're just as bad as each other, to be honest, but either way. TMZ, Josie Smalley's neighbors claim she spotted a redneck with a rope before the alleged attack. But here it is. That's a follow-up. Sorry, a different order. Chicago police say Empire actor Josie Smalley refused to hand over cell phone to them. The actor declined to share telephone records that could show he was speaking with his manager during his alleged assault. Chicago Empire actor Josie Smalley has refused to turn over his cell phone to detectives who are investigating the alleged attack that sent him to the hospital earlier this week, Chicago police said on Thursday. The actor declined to share his telephone records that could show he was speaking with the manager just as the alleged assault happened early Tuesday morning in Chicago. Police spokesman Anthony Glumbert told NBC News. Smollett has told police he was confronted by two men who allegedly hurled racist and homophobic slurs just before they beat him up. They're investigating the case as possible hate crime. The manager told the police that he heard attackers say, "This is mega country," which we seriously doubt, but anyway, during the assault, officials said. When police asked for Smollett for his phone and records to confirm the call, he refused to share them, according to Jamali. It wasn't immediately clear if the police would seek and obtain those records independently, as a representative for the actor could not be immediately returned messages seeking comment about the cell phone and the phone records. But in a prepared statement issued late Thursday afternoon, Smollett's family, although the same representative, reiterated his claim of being attacked because of his race and orientation. As for the whole mega thing, I don't think that's true. I really, really don't. I don't know any Trump supporter who would turn around and say anything as cringy as "this is mega country." So yeah, I don't think that would be true. But obviously, Josie Smalley's neighbor claims she spotted redneck with rope before alleged attack. Keep in mind, this is TMZ. This is also the same TMZ that went on about him supposedly hearing this is redneck country. So take it with a grain of salt. But a neighbor of Empire actor Josie Smalley claims that she spotted a man resembling a redneck. What exactly does that look like? I have no idea. Hanging out near the entrance to the Chicago apartment complex an hour and a half before the alleged attack, according to TMZ. The woman, who asked to remain anonymous, said that she saw the man pacing between the building's entrance and the parkway garage while she walked her dog at around 12:30 a.m. Tuesday, according to Smalley's neighbour, the man appeared agitated and out of place as he puffed on a cigarette. She said he was a white male with a scarf on his face, wearing a blue winter hat, a blue hoodie and jeans. The alleged assailant, who wore thick grey hunting stocks, which the neighbour said could be seen because of his jeans were ill-fitted, along with the camel-coloured shoes. To me, this sounds more like it's an Antifa. Like, scarf around on his face, wearing a blue winter hat. It sounds to me like it could be more Antifa than anything. But anyway. TMZ previously reported that the alleged assailants wore ski masks. Smalley's neighbour did not corroborate this detail, which is interesting because the narrative is starting to change. Chicago police spokesman Anthony Gillette shared 2 photos of the persons of interest on Wednesday night. Okay. Let's have a look at those. Smollett, who plays a gay character, Jamal Langton, on the popular Fox TV program, alleges 2 men beat him while shouting racist and homophobic slurs and covered him in an unknown chemical substance. The actor claims that the attackers asked him, "Aren't you that something or other empire something?" and placed a rope around his neck before leaving the scene. Smalley's manager claimed to have been on the phone with the actor during the alleged attack and clearly heard the assailant shout, "This is mega country." However, Smalley's call logs have not been verified, as we have just said. After the incident, the actor said he phoned his manager at his apartment, who then notified police of the alleged attack roughly 40 minutes later. If the actual manager heard the attack, why did he not call the police? That's what I want to know. Why did you wait 40 minutes before calling the police? Upon arrival, the officers found Smollett had several cuts on his face and was still wearing around his face and was still wearing around his neck. I think it's supposed to be rope around his neck. Police said detectives who are looking into the alleged incident as a possible hate crime have received hundreds of hours of videos from cameras around the area. We haven't seen anybody at this point matching the description he gave. Nobody looks menacing and we couldn't find any container anywhere, Flemmy said. Also, in that video, if they had a rope, you would expect to see it. You would expect to see it on them. Yeah. Anyway, look, as for this, obviously Trump has weighed in on the story, calling it horrible. President Donald Trump reacted to Thursday afternoon to reports that the Empire actor Josie Smalley claims he was attacked on streets by racists. "I can tell you that is horrible. I've seen it. It doesn't get worse," Trump replied when asked about the alleged attacks on CNN contributor April Rain. So look, at the end of the day, look, am I saying it didn't happen? Look, it's possible it happened, okay? But I do find it a little bit weird that Trump supporters are attacking a Fox personality. That to me is a little weird. Also the fact that they've covered up, to me looks more like Antifa. Also, when you go through these photos here, obviously it's dark, you can't see anything or anything like that. But it doesn't look like they've got mismatching colours. Like, for example, she claimed that one of them had socks over his jeans. Yeah, you really can't see it. The photos are pretty shitty. Maybe that was that guy there, maybe. But this just looks like 2 guys walking down the street. And the way they're covered up, to me, looks more like Antifa than it does, a Trump supporter. So, yeah, I would say this is... Look, they can't find the container. They can't find anybody suspicious in the video. He waited 40 minutes to call the police department after speaking to his manager. I would say possibly fake. I don't know. That would be my impersonation of it. Or my impression of it, sorry. But obviously, like I say, I don't have all the facts. So that would be just, at the moment, that's my going theory. I think it's just someone trying to get in the papers a little bit. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Pink's husband, Carey Hart, rips critics attacking him for letting his daughter shoot guns. I thought, the Liberals were all about, or the left was all about do what you want. But anyway. Pop star Pink's husband, Carey Hart, is ripping critics who attacked him for letting their daughter shoot a rifle. On Wednesday, Carey Hart posted an Instagram video showing his daughter, Will's, shooting the gun. Good on him. I reckon it's a good thing. Every kid should be able to learn to fire a weapon. The Blaze reports that Hart got negative backlash from numerous followers, like one who wrote, "There is absolutely no reason why a 3-year-old needs to be shooting a gun. That is just indoctrination and toxic. The American culture that guns are somehow cool or a hobby." Well, they are. Firing, shooting is a hobby. You do realise that, right? Hart hit back saying, "That's your opinion. I'd never slam people for speaking their opinion. I enjoy debate and shedding light on subjects that are sensitive like this. Now, when you disrespect my country or culture, I feel I have every right to get nasty." Hart's comments continued with him writing, "Now I understand that you don't give a something or other. It's my Second Amendment right, but sure as hell do. But I sure as hell do. For one, I never blocked anyone, but you feel free to unfollow me since my American ways so deeply bother you. God bless." Hart is a concealed carrier. Oh, cool. He carries a signature Sig Sauter, I might be mispronouncing, and that he has customized by Darker Legends firearms. He seems pretty cool, actually. Yeah. But yeah. Look, at the end of the day, I presume it was obviously the left that attacked him for it. Yeah, good on him. Good on him for sticking up for his Second Amendment rights. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think this is a real big thing. Is she 3 though? She looks kind of big for a 3-year-old. I thought she might have been 5 or 6, but anyway. But like I say, yeah, look, at the end of the day, I don't really see a problem with teaching kids to shoot. The rifle she's probably shooting is probably not that powerful anyway. I doubt he's given her a rifle that has a lot of kick. So it's what, an air rifle, maybe a 22 or something. And she's got it in a stock. You can actually see it here. It looks like it's like in a stock, or it's got like a tripod on it. Sorry. So at the end of the day, yeah, I don't have a problem with her teaching this. Obviously, he's there, so he'll be able to teach her right from wrong, and kind of support this. Actually, I grew up with firearms. I never killed anybody, so yeah. But moving along. And a Grande update. Fix botched tattoo to Japanese barbecue finger. Well, at least she has a sense of humour. I still think this is fake, guys. I really do. I don't know. Pop star Ariana Grande had deleted her Instagram post showing her latest Japanese tattoo after it was revealed to mean small charcoal barbecue instead of 7 rings. Claims to have fixed the mistake. Now the tattoo reportedly reads Japanese barbecue finger. To me, this is a publicity stunt. I do not really think that she has gone through and actually done this. I think this is a mannequin's hand, and it's not a real tattoo. To me, the hand looks fake. Not so much there, but in the story we covered yesterday, it definitely looks fake. Check out yesterday's video where we actually discussed this, but let's get going with this for now. Slightly better, thanks to my tutor for helping me fix it, and to Cavastada, or whatever his name is, for being a legend, and to my doctor for the lidocaine shots? No idea. No joke. Posted Grande in an update. Rip Tiny Charcoal Grill. I miss you, man. I actually really liked you. However, several news outlets, including TMZ and E! News, reported that the palm tattoo now reads Japanese barbecue finger instead of the previous mistake, small charcoal barbecue. And you can see that's where it's supposedly been changed. And of course, people are memeing over it anyway. Grande wanted the tattoo to mean 7 rings, which is the title of a new song or new single. Maybe third time's a charm, joked E! News. Grande deleted her original tattoo video post on Wednesday after social media's mocked the star for the mistake. In a since-deleted tweet explanation, Grande explained, "Indeed, I left out which should have gone between, and it hurt like something and still looks tight. So I wouldn't have lasted one more symbol laugh. But this spot also peels a ton and won't last. So if I miss it enough, I'll suffer through the whole thing next time." That's interesting, isn't it? She's already making excuses why the tattoo might fade. Grande later added, I'd like it to be respectful and more correct, bro. What's wrong with the tyranny learning here?" Don't get that, but anyway. I don't think it's a real tat, guys. I think it's a fake tattoo. Unless I can actually see her, like in a video, holding up a palm and actually seeing it on the palm, then I'll believe it. To me, this is a publicity stunt for a new album. Yeah, I don't think it's real. Let me see. I think it was Breitbart News yesterday. Actually, it might be in the linked articles. See if I can show you what I meant. No, it's not there. It's not on like the but yeah, you see the palm. It looks like it's a mannequin's hand, so I'd say that's what it is. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on any of these videos, any of these topics that we've talked about today? Are you guys liking the new format, or do you prefer the videos all being split up into different videos? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Apart from that, guys, obviously, if any big breaking news happens, what's today? Friday? So, obviously, we'll be up again tomorrow. We'll do another video tomorrow. And nothing maybe over the weekend. I'm going to try and focus on the gaming channel, which is obviously linked in the description below. But we'll be back on your Monday. So, guys, yeah, video tomorrow and then be back on Monday. Apart from that, guys, enjoy yourselves. Have a great night. And I will see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.